Welcome back to Bi-Monthly Bull. I'm your host Lewis Spears, and tonight, because of quarantine, we have produced this episode entirely from home, just like every single other mainstream media Tonight Show these days. However, unlike the mainstream media Tonight Shows, Bi-Monthly Bull doesn't cost $1 million an episode, and it doesn't suck. I mean, for fuck's sake, these other Tonight Show hosts, they can't even do their hair without a fucking makeup team and an assistant handing them donuts and a coffee so they can spit in their face. Step up your game, guys. It seems like you guys are really struggling now you don't have a team around. Come on, you're competing with YouTubers. Let's go. In tonight's quick recap, Kanye went nuts, but now he's acting sane, or at least he was until he released these shoes. What are you trying to do with this, man? Revive the what are those memes? Seriously, these shoes don't look like shoes. It looks like a dragon dildo that you put in a dishwasher to clean, but then it melted, so you gave it to the dog to chew on. Granted, it isn't the weirdest thing full of plastic that Kanye's been involved with. Fitness wear brand Lorna Jane has been fined $40,000 for claiming that their activewear protects against viruses. Now, you would think that lying to your customers would cost you business, but luckily for Lorna Jane, their customers have been lying to themselves every time they buy some activewear. Let's be honest, Marie, you're not buying those tights to go to the gym, you're buying it to wear them on the couch and eat chips and watch Netflix, you fat bitch. After speaking out against the raunchy song WAP, Ben Shapiro has been accused of being a boring dork who's bad at sex. Now, boring dork, you definitely have a point, but bad at sex? Impossible. Ben Shapiro can't be bad at sex. He doesn't have sex at all. He simply debates his doctor wife into an orgasm. Let's say, hypothetically, you are approaching climax. American women have decided to reclaim the word cunt. Reclaim it from who, cunt? American women are the ones who decided that word was offensive in the first place. I've been saying it since I came out of the cunt, you cunt. For fuck's sake, I almost got banned from a store for saying that word because I stubbed my toe. Besides, American women, you can't reclaim a word that was never yours. That's the UK's word. Well, until Australia stole it from them and now it's ours, because you can't trust convicts, can you, cunt? Over to US politics now, which to a non-American is looking more and more like a reality TV show every day. I mean, a reality TV star is the main character of this season, and if he doesn't perform very well, people are going to vote him out. It's a fucking TV show. Coming up in the next episode, Joe Biden, a man who only seems mentally present when he's sniffing the hair of toddlers, is running against the Roastmaster General of Presidents, with the accusations to match. Sorry, Jeff, the joke was there. Good luck, buddy. The two parties have a very specific strategy to win this election. The Democrats' plan is to hide Joe Biden from the general public and hope to God they don't realize he'll be a corpse 2 days into his term, if he even wins. And the Republican plan is to keep putting Trump in front of the general public and hope to God they don't realize he keeps getting bodied by journalists. Seriously, dude, what are you doing? Arguing with journalists using graphs and facts? We don't want to see that shit. That's not how you won last time. You won last time by bullying nerds. We don't want to see you be presidential. This shit should be easy for you, dude. I mean, for fuck's sake, you're basically running against the scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz. He's got no brain, he's barely alive, and he's obsessed with little girls. Speaking of rapists, Bill Clinton was one of the head speakers at the DNC, and unfortunately, he did not speak of the head he received while flying with Epstein and girls aged 13. See, I can rhyme. I got many talents. But anyway, back to Joe. Biden has officially named Kamala Harris as his running mate. And if you care about identity politics, you're a fucking loser. But also, you gotta be happy with this. Kamala Harris is a black Indian woman. That's 3 minorities. I mean, the only way she could be a better box ticker would be if she was also a box licker. But looking at Joe Biden's age and declining mental state, it's pretty obvious that even if he does win the election, Kamala Harris is the one who will end up in charge. At this point, voting for Joe is kind of like date rape. You think you're gonna hang around a creepy old guy, next thing you know, you wake up and you're gonna deal with some cop for 4 years who isn't gonna do anything about the rapist. And in our final story tonight, it's time to talk about something very serious. Karens are invading Australia. Our once great nation is falling victim to a deadly virus that is highly contagious and mostly affects old people. That disease, of course, is called dumbcontitis. Dumbcontitis is transmitted from boomer to boomer through the Facebook newsfeed. Symptoms include being dumb and being a cunt. Now, it might seem fine for me to make fun of old people for believing what they read on Facebook, but to be honest, millennials and Gen Z, we're worse. All it takes for us to believe something is an Instagram model posting a 6-slide infographic to her story. And the infographic wasn't even made by a scientist. It's made by a graphic designer who doesn't understand what they're putting in their own fucking graph. Go back to posting tits, Marie. That's why we followed you. You're not saving the world. You're being annoying. The latest case of dumbcontitis in Australia happened in a Bunnings, previously a cultural landmark of this great country, until they started putting onions underneath the sausages. Now, I don't care if the money goes to the Royal Children's Hospital. Put the onions on top or it's fuck those kids. Not like that, Jeffrey. To stop the spread of coronavirus, Melbourne has introduced a mandatory mask policy and contact tracing. Not to be confused with contact Tracy. That's how you get on a current affair. Believe me, I know. Granted, a better idea to stop the spread would have been making sure the security guards don't fuck the people in quarantine, but as someone who has a big crush on Jessica Carpenter, I understand how that would be hard. Besides, new information is coming out now linking 90% of new cases to one family that was supposed to be kept in quarantine, but were let out because their child smeared shit on the wall. Yes, that's real. For fuck's sake, if your child can't spend 2 weeks without smearing their own feces on the wall, you don't let them out to have a play, you drown it in the bathtub. Woo! Bi-monthly Bull, the only news show that will call for the death of children. Like we should. Now, someone from Australia who had a big problem with the mask policy is self-proclaimed psychic Lizzie Rose. She hates masks, and judging by her 5 children, hates condoms too. By now, we've all seen the influx of Karen videos flooding our news feeds. At this point, it seems if you want to go viral, all you need to do is point a camera at a white woman and make them scream. After all, it works for Pornhub. No condoms there either, hey Lizzie. For a time, it felt like Karens were exclusive to America, and I was happy with that. But like always, we Australians appropriated the shit out of their culture. It's only fair though, really. I mean, Americans might feel special masking up to fight cops, but Australians, we invented that shit. Now, it's easy to dunk on people for not trusting scientists, but in their defense, a lot of the messaging around COVID has been changing. We've been given false information by the media, false information by scientists, and this shit has been changing every single day. That doesn't mean, though, that there's some evil conspiracy designed to kill everyone. Often, that's just how science works. It changes, it evolves, it adapts, it sounds like a virus, actually. Maybe they did make that shit in the lab. But now is not the time to turn on scientists. Now is not the time to turn on doctors and nurses. We need to let them figure this out. We need to allow them to make mistakes. This is a new problem. They have to solve it, and they will. We don't need any more Karens in Australia. What we need is more Sharons. Karen complains to the manager. Karen films themselves abusing someone earning minimum wage working during a pandemic. Sharon sits around a glass table and shotguns a beer in front of the boys. Granted, because of quarantine, she has to do that alone and it's a little bit sad, but whatever, it's a metaphor. Yes, this whole situation sucks. Mask sucks. Quarantine sucks, but thanks to the intimate partner exception, at least we can suck on each other. And at the end of the day, no matter what you think about this virus, even if you think it's not real, if you record yourself abusing a young person who's working minimum wage during a pandemic just to sell you shit you don't even really need, you're not exposing a hoax, you're not a freedom fighter, you're not even a Karen. You're just a cunt. I'm Lewis Spears. Stay safe out there. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks.